Hey mamas, I am here today. I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right in and talk about what I think is one of the most important things to have on hand in your hospital bag if you are going to be breastfeeding, and that is a nipple cream. Now there are tons and tons and tons and tons, I'm sure, of different brands out there. So it's kind of like overwhelming when you're a new mom, especially to pick one that's going to work best. How do you know what's going to work best? All that. So of course you can ask, other fellow moms out there what they've used, what they recommend, things like that. It's really going to boil down to what you like best, what works best for you. But I will give you my opinion on the two brands that I have tried and kind of just give you a rundown of pros, cons, things like that. So the two brands that I tried were the Lansinoh, I think that's how you say it, Nipple Cream, looks like this, and then the Motherlove Nipple Cream. Let's see if you can see that. So right off the bat you can see that I don't know if either one comes in a different form, to be honest with you, but as you can see, this one comes in a tube form and this one is in a jar form where you kind of scoop it out. So right off the bat there, I prefer this Lansinoh version because I don't want to have to like dig it out, and like I didn't have nails when my daughter was a newborn, but as of now I do occasionally still use nipple cream even though she's 6 months, but occasionally you still need it here and there. But it's just, I don't know, it's annoying. Even when you have short nails, like getting that out, it still can get under there. So that's kind of a con, I would say, on this one. The biggest thing for me was the consistency though. So I already told you I preferred the Lansinoh over the Motherlove just in the sheer, like, what it comes in. But I prefer this one overall because the consistency. So I'm gonna try to get some out here and see if I can demonstrate this. So if you can see this, see how thick that is? So what that means is when you are putting that on, let's just say a knuckle is a nipple here. When you're putting that on, it's gonna stay and it's gonna last a while. So it's gonna kind of soak in, it's gonna moisturize that nipple, and that's really what you want here, because they get super chapped. You're gonna get cracks and things like that. So them being dry is really painful. So that consistency to me is very important, I found out. So when I was having, a really hard time that first week, that's going to be the worst pain as far as breastfeeding goes in that first week. Not to say it goes away, but it does get significantly better after the first week. I was using this and still having a hard time. That's just the nature of how it goes. But my husband actually reached out to his sister, who's a big fanatic on breastfeeding and things. So she used the Lansinoh and it didn't work for her, or she didn't like it, and so she used this. So my husband got this to see if it would work better. But this, as you'll see, so I'm going to scoop some out. So it's like I don't know, let me get more so you can see better. So this consistency, I mean, it's still thick, so to speak, but I mean, you're not getting that, gel, like, let's see. So it's not as thick, you see what I mean? So that in itself, so it's a lot thicker to begin with, but as you rub it in, it thins out, that Motherlove version. and I just wasn't a fan. Like, it almost turns to an oil. I'm not sure how well that's translating, but it turns to an oil, which I mean oil is just as great as anything else, but to me, I didn't feel like it moisturized very well. So it's just, it thins out. I didn't like that it got so thin. Also, you know, when you're putting on, you know, your clothes, your bra, or whatever it is that you're wearing, to me, this is going to come off much easier than something that's thicker. So that's kind of my 2 cents on that. I wasn't so fond of the smell of the Motherlove either. The Lansinoh doesn't have a smell at all. But the Motherlove kind of has like a, it's hard to describe. Kind of like a, I want to say cardboard-ish smell. I don't know. But it does have a scent. It's not scented, but that's just what it smells like. The Lansinoh, I hope I'm saying that right, doesn't have an odor at all. Like, I don't smell anything. I literally don't smell anything. I just smell the other one because I had them both on my hands. So, but it doesn't smell. Yeah, nothing. Let's see, what else? I think as far as like taking it places, like if you were traveling or just want to have something in your diaper bag or something like that, I just think this is also going to be more convenient for that. It's going to be easier to find. You can just put it in a little, you know, side pocket or something like that, whereas this is probably going to sink down to the bottom of a bag or something like that. That is kind of my brief little rundown. I'll be creating a actual blog post that you know, might have a little more detail, comparison and things like that in it, so check that out for sure. But yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents. I definitely think it is a super important thing to have. Another thing I will say is to get you some gel pads. I will grab some of those here in a second and show you those. But again, the Lansinoh brand is what I prefer. But I will, actually, I'm going to do a separate video on that. So look for that in a little bit. And I will do a comparison on that because I did try 2 different versions of those and do have a preference on those as well. So I think that's the gist. So if you have any questions, comments, have any other nipple creams that you prefer or think that are superior to either of the 2 that I just mentioned, leave a comment. I would love to hear it. I am always open to new products to try and recommend to other mamas out there. So that's it for now. I will talk to you guys later.